It is I, Sean Roberts, bringing you another top story, the case Texas versus Johnson, and with a special guest, the one, the only, Justice Charlie Sheen again. Good morning, America. So here we are with a case that has gotten lots of publicity by a man known as Gregory Lee Johnson. This man, known as Mr. Johnson, burned an American flag in front of a Dallas City Hall as means of protest against the Reagan administration policies while at a Republican National Convention. So Justice Sheenigan, can you give us a little bit more background about this case? Well, of course, Mr. Johnson saw the burning of an American flag as a means of protest, like you said. But what this is all about is that there is a Texas statute which prohibits desecration of the national flag. So everyone may be thinking, then what's all the fuss about? Just send him to jail. Well, Mr. Johnson was sent for a year of county jail and a compensation of $2,000. But due to Mr. Johnson using the means of burning the national flag as a means of public speech, sending him to jail with a fine would go against the First Amendment of freedom of speech. Well, now this is getting complicated, isn't it? So why do you think there would be a Texan law that goes against the First Amendment? You know, it was probably just a means of protecting patriotism, and maybe not thinking of burning the national flag as a means of speech. They most likely just wanted to protect this view of the national flag as being a strong symbol for America. And I mean, if you saw it burning, you'd probably feel this little strange inside, wouldn't you? Well, I sure would. So, where's this case right now? And do you think the burning of the national flag would go forth with the First Amendment? The case was escalated to the Supreme Court, where they delegated a council member to defend Mr. Johnson. You know, it's hard to say what I think about because it's such a touchy subject. But yes, I do think that he used the burning of the national flag as terms of protesting, which would be fine by the First Amendment. I do think it should exempt him from the fine and jail time. But this case has gotten so much publicity, and Texas is going strong to make sure that Mr. Johnson gets the jail time that he may or may not deserve. Now, you said it got up to the Supreme Court. Do you think it should have gotten up to federal level? When it comes to something about our Constitution, I do think it should have rose to federal level. I mean, this is our First Amendment we are talking about. And if it's going against that amendment, then it definitely needs to be sought out at federal level. Well, once again, thank you for joining us, Justice Sheen again. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show and to hear your views about the many topics we bring up. It's my pleasure, and I just want to say that I think, in the end, that the Supreme Court will agree, ruling that symbolic speech is constitutionally protected, even when it is offensive. Thank you again, and thank you, America, for tuning in. Da 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 da.